Hello, all you beautiful fishy people. I hope you are having a wonderful day, Halloween or day after Halloween, whatever it may be, wherever you are. We've got a couple of awesome guests. Of course, I've got my awesome co-host here, Chattanooga Ed. Chattanooga Ed, what are you dressed up as?
I am a banana slug.
A banana slug. All right. Now, it doesn't really convey quite as well on camera, but he's got some awesome antenna and a whole lot going on with that costume.
Oh.
I'm going to run through, say some hellos, and we are going to bring our two awesome guests up that we've got to talk to today. No set topic. Figured we'd do an awesome Q&A with them because we haven't had them on for a while. But before I get to that, as far up as I can go, hello to William Pridemore, Chad Crowd, Sand Creek Aquatics, to Tom Patterson, Dank Tanks, Rico Stan, Sarah Lynn Snow, Chad Crotts. There we go. It froze up on me. Punchy Bates, Amy, hello again. Big J Fish Keeper, scrolling and rolling through here. Holly Gibbs. We had a couple people stop by well beforehand. Dragon Lair, Big J, what's up? Big J, thank you for hanging out on the stream earlier at Aquatic Marine. I appreciate you coming up, showing off the tanks. That was a blast. Mike's Aquatics and things. How's it going, Mike? Select Bet, what is up? Kenny E with Danica Aquatics. Rolling and rolling. Bill Witt. John McKenzie, Lori Vinker. Ooh, chat jumped on me. Mr. Fish, Sir Brad, how are you? S, good to see you, S. Still the easiest name to go through on here. And I probably missed a few when the chat jumped, but we're going to go ahead and dive right in. So our first guest, you know him, you love him, Aquamate. What's going on, buddy?
Hello. Me, I want a hula hoop. How are you guys?
I love it.
I was trying to line that up so that it would work, but then you're like, Aquamate. I'm like, oh, I've missed my key.
Sorry about that. Sorry, buddy.
There's a mini Aquamate. How are you?
Hey, mini Aquamate. What's up?
This is actually his. I had like an alien thing from Toy Story. I couldn't find it anywhere. And because I have bad eczema and skin, I can't put any face paints and stuff on. And I was like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll put on like a really scary mask, and then I just got all claustrophobic and stuff. So I went, the chipmunks, it is.
Very nice. I love the little guy hanging off of there.
Yeah.
Mine didn't work out. I had this whole thing figured out with a green screen, and then I kind of thought about it in reverse when I planned it, and so it was like, nope, not going to work. But not to be forgotten, and last but definitely not least, words are going to be hard today after that 4-hour stream earlier. Dr. Black66. Oh, you are muted still, Dr. Black.
I'm muted. G'day, you mob. How's it going?
Now
you do a pirouette for us.
What?
Can you do a pirouette?
Oh.
Look at Dr. Black. You know when you have nightmares? That's what it looks like.
I thought he only wore that outfit on Sunday. Well, wait, it is Sunday there, isn't it? So,
yes,
okay, that makes sense.
This is me dressed for church.
There you go.
I love it. So,
how are we all anyway? Hope everyone's well.
Doing wonderful. Had
candy out, lollied up.
I brought home entirely too much candy from the event earlier because there weren't going to be enough kids coming through to it for as many bags as I made, and they're like, "Here," it's like, "You want me to leave this much?" And they're like, "No, take more than that. We've got some candy here still." So I kind of but I was in my car. I was doing the lazy American thing. Forget strolling. I was cruising through a little neighborhood here, and all the kids are out playing. I was like, "Here, have candy."
That's what it's all about, isn't it? Give them way too much.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not mine.
This year, I'm giving out mounds.
Mounds? What are mounds?
I was going to say that.
And take fives.
Oh, that was pretty tasty.
All right.
A mounds is a coconut. Dark chocolate on coconut.
Okay.
Here, I'll open one for you. Because they're delicious.
No. Looking good,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Oh, coconut
It's like a-
goodness.
Do you have bounty over there? That's what our equivalent is, a bounty.
That's a soap.
Oh,
That's
don't
what we
it?
wash our clothes in.
Well, we've got
Maybe that's
Remind
why
me.
we started eating Tide Pods.
Remind me not to eat bounty when I'm in the States then.
well, we do also have Bounty paper towels. You could eat those as opposed to the soap. Probably tastes a little better. But I'm going to go ahead and drive to Ed's house because he's got full-size candy bars. So you guys do the stream. I should get there just in time to end it when I get to Ed's. Somebody asked
full-size bars.
what Ed is. He is a banana slug.
Yeah, it's kind of a full body thing. If you see the whole thing,
I thought you were Baby Yoda.
I haven't got like this huge tail.
See, initially we would have been at Aqua right now, for Halloween, but then it got canceled. So
Yeah.
This was my Aqua Shell outfit I was going to walk around in. You see, I
That
got
would've
my
been-
candy belly.
I was not going through the trouble of making a Pleco costume, knowing that I was not going to Aqua. So
You can't see my
I am hair algae, green hair algae. Awesome.
Good work.
Love
dude.
it. Right on. Very nice.
Can you help me find the phone?
Oh, thanks, Brad.
Yes.
Chucking my link.
I've
up.
just got to help
Oh,
Harry
well.
with something. I'll be 1 second.
Absolutely. Not a problem. That gives us a chance to talk to Dr. Black here for a minute. What's been going on with you, buddy? How's life?
Oh, new episode of The Mandalorian's out, so life's fantastic.
There you go. Absolutely.
That's
No,
all
you
that really
really-
matters in life at the moment, isn't it? Mandalorian.
Yeah.
How,
I
now,
have- Go ahead.
do you really like this show?
I love it.
See, I was thinking about getting. Well, we talked about it last night. I was thinking about doing it tomorrow, so that way I have it for a full month.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's plenty of time to smash it out.
Oh, I
Just
guess
Don't you get a month
tomorrow
for
is
free?
today for you. Oh, I have
Huh?
no idea. Tomorrow is today with you.
Well, it's Sunday here now.
Yeah. You're living in tomorrow.
Yeah, they're people from the future.
So weird.
Which means tomorrow, Ed, you and I will both have accents and wake up wanting some Vegemite.
And wanting to dress in ladies' clothing.
I already want to do that.
This is how they dress in the future.
And the church is down under.
Yeah. So Guppy Guru said to tell Ed, I have licked a banana slug in California. Makes your tongue numb.
Don't lick me.
Interesting.
Don't let, yes, please, nobody lick Ed during the stream.
You'll have a lot worse than a numb tongue if you lick me.
But is that like a known thing? Like, what possesses a person to lick a slug? Just to find out? Oh, I wanted to know what it tasted like, but it made
I
my
guess
tongue
so.
not able to taste anyway.
Well, I mean, possibly. How did we find previous food sources? Who figured out the chicken tasted good? There was probably a lot of trial and error in that. Oh, very nice.
Aw.
Is that a piece
that
of Sarah's
goes well.
handiwork there?
Not quite long enough yet. I've got a massive neck.
I would say she's saying you've got a fat neck. It's not nice.
Aw.
It's all muscle. I've got a muscular neck with a little bit of fat.
So now I did notice you have broken the 600 subscriber mark. Congratulations and kudos on that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was I think that 590 to 600 mark was the longest 10 subscribers to get in my YouTube history.
Wow.
What number are you?
Huh?
What number are you?
As in, how many have I got now?
Yep.
That's a good question. Whoops.
The best black
He's got
stream ever.
590 now.
Yeah, it just went back down. People saw the dress and it dropped.
No bolted.
We'll have him back on in 2 months when he hits 600.
Yeah, it's ironic though.
Oh,
Ironic that my subscribers go down, yet there's more viewers constantly coming into this stream. The word's out.
Absolutely.
608.
Oh, You're beating me. I'm at 605.
Why you little?
Not me. But no, the best stream you ever did was when you celebrated.
You chat.
What, Blackie? Did you have a celebration for 300,000
A what?
or 100,000 subs when you first started?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
I did. It was, I think, for 30. I did a subscriber video when I got 30 subscribers, but I pretended like it was 300. Those were the days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always did say that my goal was, actually, I can't even remember how many it was, 47,000 or something. Once I get to 47,000 subs, then I'll just quit.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix this. They've already told me that we're not suitable for ads. You gotta love that.
What do we
don't
do?
think that's fair. I don't know. They must really not like Dr. Black's dress.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Oh, it's Dr. Black. Nope. Take away 10 of his subscribers and ban that live stream he's on. Dear God.
I haven't even showed any flesh yet.
I know. It's crazy. So, Aquaman, how are things going with you over on your channel? You seem to be doing really well, buddy.
Yeah, not bad. It's been good. I've been able to work with a few people and make some different content and learn about some new products and stuff. Well, old products and new products. So it's been good working with them and sort of trying to just muck around with being a bit more creative with videos and doing a bit of stop animation and just trying and using a drone and that sort of stuff. Just having fun creating content. So that most of the videos lately have been pretty short, to be honest, but it's been more about trying to be creative, get the message across. And yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying doing it, and it's hitting that point where it's a little bit tricky to know what to do from week to week. And I'm constantly in this battle in my mind going, stop trying to put 2 videos out a week, just do 1 and you'll be less stressful. But then YouTube seems to like push things a little bit more if you have more content going out.
Right, absolutely. So I know at one point you had mentioned that you were working on helping get Extreme into Australia. Is that correct? If I remember correctly?
Yeah, there's someone down here that is trying to get it across, but there's lots of things with the virus and stuff that slowed everything and stopped everything. But it's all still in motion. It's just
nice.
Well, no, it's not in motion. It's stopped, but it's in the same motion still. So
it's in the
that
works, but it's not in motion.
Exactly. There you go. So hopefully that will happen soon, because a lot of people are messaging me on different videos saying, how do I get Extreme? What's his name? Is it Andy? Andy from Extreme. He actually messaged me about the video I made a little while ago. So that was really, I was like, he's seen it. This is really cool.
Awesome.
But yes, hopefully we will have it readily available down under, I don't know, maybe in the next 6 months.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it'd be very cool.
Look at that necklace. That is beautiful craftsmanship.
Hey, Sarah.
I always thought that Blackie would be like one of the survivors from Mad Max, you know, until now.
Until now.
Until now.
Well, actually, you could probably fit in with that one gang in Road Warrior.
He needs to be on the front of a vehicle just playing a guitar with flames coming out of it.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
623 says, look at the cute princess on the left.
I'm sure he was referring to Scungy.
So what have you guys been up to? How's your Halloween? How did it play out? Ed, you had a completely different costume I saw about 12 hours ago.
How full on was that? That was so choice.
I was a steam-powered robot.
That's awesome.
And I was constantly dropping pieces of dry ice down my pipe. But it was worth it. It looked really cool.
I love how much you guys get into Halloween.
Oh my gosh. Halloween's great.
We had a bit of a problem here because we've just come out of like a really long lockdown, but there's still some, measures in place. So it's kind of wasn't appropriate for everyone to send their kids out to everywhere down here. That's the photo.
Wow.
So we tried to make do, went to the park and the kids had to play because you're allowed to do that. And then we just put lollies out the front, but most of them didn't get taken and we didn't put that much out. So I know the kids got some lollies for Halloween and got to dress up by themselves, kind of. So it's kind of a little bit flat down here, but it's growing every year. Like a lot of people are like, I hate Halloween. It's so stupid. I'm like, well, you're a Grinch then because it's fun and kids look forward to it. Our house, we've got tape all over it and cobwebs all over it, but we're the only one in the street. But usually each year you'll see more and more houses do stuff like that too. So I'm a big Halloween fan.
That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've got like a 20-foot blow-up Grim Reaper in my front yard.
No.
I've got my driveway has like this roundabout, like a circle, and I've got a little 9-year-old down the street that just rides his bicycle in the roundabout around the Grim Reaper all day long. Well, not all day long, but every evening he comes around and does that.
I should clarify that the cobwebs are just because I haven't cleaned for a while, and the police we found somebody out there one morning. So no.
Oh man, that is awesome. I had a pretty good day. We had several people from here that were in the chat earlier. I did a 4-ish hour live stream from the local fish store.
I saw that.
It was fun. I got to sponsor that. We had a blast. We had free donuts and coffee and some candy bags for the kids, and
That's cool.
Did an Extreme Foods discount.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of people subscribed that are local because somebody missed out on some free Extreme Food and a free beanie from Aquatic Marine. Because we had a thing running that the first customer through the door to mention the channel got $25 in free food and their choice of beanies. The owner's wife does embroidery and printing and stuff. And so they've got tons of awesome merch up there in the store.
Is it still there though? Like, can someone go there later and still get that?
No, they closed 50 minutes ago. We were just doing it for today's event.
Bummer.
If I would have drove there, would have I got that, or would I count?
I don't know. You might have.
I might be like hired on help or something.
I don't know. Now we did hook Sean Peck up with some Extreme Nano, and he bought some Monster because he's not tried it before. But he hung out for a minute. That was really cool of him. But then I came home for a couple hours and I went, oh my God, I haven't done a thumbnail. I was actually hanging out in Corey's live stream chat, just talking to people, answering questions and stuff, kind of unwinding. And then I was like, it's getting to be close to time. I better make this thing and send them a link.
No, you did a very good job. The thumbnail's fun.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really wanted to go all in on one, and I want to do some other stuff. But like I mentioned in the previous stream today, I fell asleep yesterday at about 4:30 in the afternoon because I hadn't slept the night before. And then I woke up like 9:30 this morning and had to get up and get to that event. And I still had to get this sprayed in. And it took forever to get the green off my face because this was a spray-on hair color. So I look like I won't say what I look like, but I look like my head had just been pulled out of places that it shouldn't have been involving green superheroes because it was just green everywhere. I was like, no. But it was interesting. Hey, Eric, how's it going, buddy? Lots of awesome people in here. I saw Blake in here, said didn't get a single trick-or-treater yesterday.
Really?
Man, 1185. Good to see you. Says, what is a good-sized tank to raise discus fry in? Panel? Anybody raise discus fry?
No.
Not lucky enough, but I would say a 2-foot would be sufficient to start with, I would have thought.
I would think so. Depends on how long you're defining as raising them and to what size. I mean,
yeah. That's why I reckon a 2-foot would give you, a couple months before you start going, all right. here's the strong ones. Am I going to sell some of them? Am I going to try and grow all of them out? Then you'll need a lot of tanks.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe a 29 gallon to start with, possibly a 20 long or a 20 tall, I guess. Depends on how long you want to keep them in there. Of course, 55, you could raise them much longer than that, but I've not heard anything on $1 per gallon sale in the near future. I'm kind of wondering if that little fiasco where they screwed up online and marked all the tanks like, 60 cents a gallon, screwed up things for the next $1 per gallon sale.
No, I think the next one's supposed to be in January.
Okay, awesome.
But
awesome.
they normally have a Black Friday sale, which is $1 per gallon on Black Friday and Saturday.
Nice.
They did it the last 2 years, I think. So.
Yeah, and Lord, I just lost track. I saw some super stickers and chats pop up, and my mind went totally blank. Oh, they did have like a 30% off sale on the website only the other day, but that was just online. And it wasn't quite $1 per gallon. It was like $12 for a 10 gallon, which is still better than normal. But
it's so crazy. You talk about the $1 per gallon sales, or even just that they exist, because down here we are paying more than $1 a litre for a tank. So I want to get a 55 litre tank for Escape that worked on with someone else up in New South Wales, and Jags Aquatics, should just say it rather than say someone else. And the tank's going to cost me like $85. And I'm like, that's fine. But I'm just sort of like sitting here going, how many gallons is 55 litres? It's like 10 gallon. So you get that for $10 and I'm going to pay almost $100.
That's horrible. Yeah, I was talking to somebody a little while ago, again, in Corey's live stream chat, and they were saying the same thing. They were across the pond somewhere, and they were like, I can't even fathom $1 per gallon sales. It's really hard to get cheap tanks.
Yeah.
Now, what's the deal? Why don't you guys just make glass? You got sand.
Make what, sorry?
Don't you guys have like a glass foundry or something? They should just make glass. One of you guys should just start cutting it and making them. Make $1 bajillion.
Maybe. Well, actually, there, Blake. How you doing, Blake? Good to see you. It says rimless though. How much would a rimless 15 gallon be in the States?
That's a good point. And I was going to ask if it had to do with Euro style tanks versus our rimmed tanks, if that was a big thing, big difference there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got a few tanks with some big black rims and stuff around them, but you can pick them up for free anywhere. Like, you just have to look at any hard rubbish collection. They're sitting out the front. But yeah, rimless, no. They just cost a lot more, and it's hard when you're trying to do an aquascape tank. You really want a rimless tank because you don't want to detract from what you've done in the tank and break lines when you're trying to create that in the actual scape. So I suppose that's a good point. I'm trying to think of two different.
So technically you've got it better than us because we're paying $1 per gallon when it's on sale, and yours are, in the rubbish bin.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see, like, I would love to visit America, and I just want to fly over there, just look at some tanks and fly. No, I'd love to visit America and then go, that's a 20 long. That's what they're talking about. That's a, low boy or whatever. Yeah. That's $1 per gallon tank. And then I go, I get it. That would make more sense. But because we talk, we just talk about liters and feet. We've got a 4-foot tank and then a 55 liter tank right next to me. And I still would be like, so is that 10 gallons or is that 12 gallons? And is that that's a 55 or a 75? I won't be able to figure it out until I can physically see it myself, I reckon.
Yeah, it's like everything behind me is 20s, 20 longs.
20 longs. Yeah, see, I don't feel like we even have that size tank very much down here. Like a 20 long. Is that a 2-foot tank?
Yes.
It's 30 inches.
Okay.
So it's like 2.5 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have them down here, do we?
Feet or inches?
Either.
Do you mean the size?
So confusing.
They have some feet, but they don't measure with them.
We kick with them.
Yeah. I'm going to grab a few super chats real quick. Mary Page Flynn with the $1 super sticker smiley face with the sunglasses. Mary Page, I really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Good to see you. I hope you're having an awesome day. Then roll on down here. We had Kenny E with Danica Aquatics and the $1 super pooper chat fertilizing the fish tanks. Kenny, thank you, brother. And then right below that, we got Aquatic Marine. Kenny, thank you. Aquatic Marine with $20 super chat says, Happy Fishaween, everybody. Or Fishaleen. Fishaween, I don't know which one it was supposed to be. Either way, thank you. And again, thank you for letting me come down and hang out, do the live stream, sponsor that event. I had a blast. That was a really fun time. And I will see you here in a few days, and we can get working on some footage for some upcoming projects that him and I have planned out. That's going to be fun. So stay tuned for that here. And also, like I mentioned earlier, go check out Aquatic Marine's channel because you're going to see me doing some videos over there.
Now, was Kenny there?
He was.
Oh, that's great. Was he showing off his scar, grossing everybody out?
Yeah, that was his. He should have done that. He should just like ripped off all the bandages, and that could have been, no. He had it all covered up. He made the joke earlier. He was dressed as a fish store owner.
He should have had little kids take candy off his arm next to the scar. That'd be cool.
I don't know with the current health situation if people would have gone for that. We had non-self-serve donuts. We were serving the donuts to people to keep things nice and sanitary. See,
I should have went down there and see if I could have got a box.
Blake's Aquatics says we can get Petworks tanks that are still rimless for say $60 for a 2-foot, which would be $15 US, excluding tax, which is a minimum 30 Aussie, but they are still rimless, just normal glass. So that's another thing. You all probably have like the iron free or the low iron glass that are going into your rimless, then don't you?
As a rule.
So y'all are getting the more expensive glass, and rimless is probably what's making it hard to get cheap tanks. Not that
you get that stuff you can see through. Yeah.
Why would you want to do that?
We've got a lot of expensive tanks too, so
we do. We have a lot of cheap options as well, though, thankfully. Now, I can understand if you're wanting to be really fancy going with the low iron. I have never noticed enough color in the glass when looking at a tank for it to make a difference to me. That being said, somebody like yourself who is accustomed to having, the glass look that way might, as you mentioned, fly over here, look at those and go, why does your glass look like that? Why is it so colorful? So,
well, that's the thing though. Like, I've got so many tanks that are completely like different manufacturers. Like one that would be maybe 30 years old, one that's like 1 year old. I don't know. I honestly don't know what the difference is because I'm sure I've got some that are, what are we saying? No iron or low iron versus.
Yeah, the low iron. I know we have some over here that like when we find tanks that are the low iron, they're the fancy aquascaping, rimless, the pretty boy tanks.
Like the ADA sort of tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're super expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Select Pet, that's exactly it. Select Pet says, wait, why bother trying to see through the glass? There's so much algae going to be there anyways.
Yeah, that 1 day or two of clear viewing.
Yeah. Just let all four sides get covered in algae and do top view only tanks.
Yeah. There's merit in that system. I'll just take this opportunity to say hi to everyone that I didn't say hi to, which I think was everyone. Say hi, everyone.
Yes, hello everybody.
And hello for me too. Okay, James, keep talking.
All right. I was making sure I wasn't cutting anybody off. So how many tanks are you up to now, Blackie? How many tanks are you sitting at?
8, 9, somewhere there.
Somewhere there. Very nice. You still got the Gibiceps behind you?
Yeah, he's still there. Still getting bashed by the Oscar. My fest days are on eggs again. They laid eggs yesterday,
Oh, nice.
so that'll be
Nice.
interesting. See if I can finally get some to come to fruition.
Now, is it that big, pretty white Oscar that's beating him up?
He beats Gibbiceps up.
He is
Doesn't-
awesome.
Doesn't like Oh, my necklace fell off. I'm all bare.
Oh,
Yeah, he doesn't like it when the Gibbiceps comes out into the open. Thinks he's going to take his food.
Oh, Select Pet has got it perfectly done. He said duckweed fixes the top view too. I just assume I have fish still.
Yeah, I got a couple of tanks like that. Algae around the sides and duckweed on the top. It's a good
Okay.
look.
And that's how fish tanks are in nature.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you can just go, look, LRB, you're not doing natural. This is natural.
It's only natural when you can't see the fish.
Kenny Aquatic Marine says, fish out. James wore me out today. Manny Arm needs sleep. Night night. Kenny Aquatic Marine, take care. Again, it was good to talk to you. Good to see you. I hope you have a great night. And thank you again for the super chat, my friend. Really do appreciate it.
oh, there's ladies in.
Hey, Zen Ginger, how are you? Thank you all the mods who've been dropping links. Very, very much appreciated. Josh, Aqua, what are you looking at tank-wise now? You're about 60 or 70?
60 or 70 what? Liters of... No. No, I'm still at 9, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 9, 10. The 10th one, I'm just doing a video, which is an update on something that I've created a while ago that is almost ready to fill because we've been doing a dry start. So that'll make it 10.
Nice.
To be honest with you, I'm thinking of downsizing and getting rid of a few. I just can't figure out how it would look, but yeah, I feel like I can't afford to just keep buying tanks. I don't have the room or the money to, buy a new light, new filter, new heater every time, and then all the stuff that I want to put in it. So I'm sort of thinking about downsizing a little bit and trying to spend more time on maybe 4 or 5 tanks, really get into the aquascape side of things, and then upgrade the lights and running CO2 on a couple tanks at the moment now, so maybe I can expand on that. So I've been thinking about doing it that way because I'm not really a fish breeder as such. I have fish that breed, but they're just naturally. I'm not trying to do anything that's just, things like guppies and whatnot. But yeah, I'm thinking of going down in number, but in about 4 weeks, I share my fish room with the garage, and I have all this stuff that should be sitting in a shed out the back. And in about 4 weeks, I'm building a shed out the back, and then I'm going to move all that stuff out. And I'd love to just make one big bench and just have 4 uniform tanks, like, I don't know, maybe how many gallons? Maybe like 30-gallon tanks, roughly, and just have 4 different aquascapes, all different styles and different fish, different plants, and yeah, try and go down that path. But so sort of almost like more of a studio look rather than having lots of tanks everywhere. So I'm thinking about downsizing, but it's very hard when I look at them and go, all right, I'm going to get rid of that tank. I'm like, no, I'm not. I love you. I'm going to keep you. Go away.
Yeah, that's where the trouble starts, when you've got to start making decisions.
Exactly, yeah.
It's all wonderful in theory.
What would you do with the fish?
Well, that's the other thing. Like, for example, we've got this old tank over here. It would be, I don't know, maybe a 20, 30-gallon tank. And it's just got crebensis in there. And I love them. They're on their own. There's about 10 of them in there. They sort of they work really well when they're just with each other. When they're with other fish, when they breed, it becomes trouble. But I'm a little bit like, well, you kind of limit me. Like, it's just a crebensis tank, or I can't add anything to it. I can't plant it. So do I then go and give them to an aquarium? The goldfish I have in here, I sort of have always thought I'm not going to keep him forever because I know goldfish grow, and he's grown heaps. He's a 4-foot fish tank on his own pretty much. I'd love to give him someone with a pond so that he can sort of live out his days in a much bigger body of water. So if I give him up, then do I get rid of that tank? But then I put this fake rock background in it a little while ago, and I've got pothos growing through the top. And what's really cool about the pothos is it's pushing stems down across the rock. Like in a year's time, that tank will look supernatural, like a rock just covered in plants with the roots ingrained on the rock, and it's going to look really, really good. So that's making me think, no, I've got to keep that one as part of it as well. But yeah,
I can understand.
I could talk myself in and out of it 100 times.
Absolutely. And I can definitely understand wanting to do that, like you mentioned, that high quality studio look with just a few tanks.
Yeah.
I always find that extremely enjoyable and fascinating. Again, on the other end, I love having a ton of tanks with a ton of different fish, a bunch of different projects going on. What can I breed? All that stuff. So, like you said, it's easy to talk your way in and out of stuff. So I'm looking at the 24 tanks I've got sitting empty going, do I just want to sell those, or do I want to build racking systems? So then I'm like, well, I've got like 7 tanks already set up that don't really have fish. They have stuff keeping them cycled. So I don't really need more tanks. I'm like, but if I want to bring in more guppies or more plecos or, breed even more plecos, I need more tanks. It's like,
you're close enough. You got to go for the 100, I reckon.
Yeah, absolutely. And hello, 44 Mad Guy Fishing More. Saw you on there. I want to say a real quick thank you to everybody. We've still got 53 people in here and 51 thumbs ups, even with Corey being live right now. So I really do appreciate that. Now that I've reminded everybody,
Corey's live.
Yeah, bye. All
I
right,
gotta catch you later.
Right, bye. Oh, they left. No, I'm just kidding.
It would have been better.
Cruel.
Seriously, huge thank you to everybody. It's awesome that y'all are hanging out here. I think he's going to be on for a while anyway, so if you're not, you can go there afterwards. We'll do a raid. How about that? We'll do a hashtag raid on Corey. Now we might all get banned by Candy, but
I'll message her and say, "Do you care if we do a raid?"
I'll test the friend.
But, so you talk about kind of comprehending the 20 long and the sizes that we have here. I'm curious, are there other things from the Oz perspective that we talk about it and you go, well, I get the concept, but I don't know it till I see it someday? Or is that the main thing that we do over here?
Yeah, I think the main thing is dimensions, the way that you call your tanks and stuff. Like Aquamate said before, we just say that's a 2-foot tank, that's a 3-foot tank, that's a 6-foot tank. Our version of complicated tank sizes is that's a 6B2B2. Yeah, that's as deep as we like to go into measuring fish tanks.
Very nice. I like that. That's 62.
Leave the maths up to the people who like to ask questions.
I got you.
I got a question that. All right, so you talking about fish tank sizes. Do you follow any rule for stocking? I know it's like a very sort of beginnerish question. How many fish can I fit in a fish tank? Do you follow any sort of rules? Because obviously you've got different size tanks. Maybe when we talk about, I would put 10 fish in that, we would go, well, I would only put, 5, whatever.
So that is where the god-awful generic and very commonly mocked standard of 1 inch per gallon comes from.
Okay.
It's designed, and we all make fun. Like I'll say, a 10-inch Oscar in a 10-gallon tank. That's not what it's meant to infer. It's meant to go, okay, if I've got a 55-gallon tank, I can have 10 5-inch rainbow fish or 11 5-inch rainbow fish in there. That's kind of what it's meant. I was going for something that wasn't, like too big, like a standard, or I could have, take your 2-inch Tetra and multiply that out. That's where that 1 inch per gallon is intended to come into play. Fish nerds, we look at it and laugh and go, I can have a 4-foot arowana and a 4-foot tank. Okay. We pick on it, but that's what the actual inch per gallon rule is, if you've got a 10-gallon tank, you could do like 5 2-inch fish in it, just to kind of keep the entry-level person from overstocking.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Select Pet says, no fish room fever. Don't even mention that blasphemous rule. But that is still the common advice, if you will, that you hear a lot of places outside of fish nerdery, is 1 inch per gallon. And that's what the true meaning behind it is, even though we give people hell and say, oh, a 10-inch Oscar and a 10-gallon tank, perfect.
I remember years and years ago, I don't remember who said it, would have been pretty early days of me keeping fish, so maybe 20 odd years ago, and someone said to me, if you have I don't know, let's say a 30 centimeter tank, you're going to have 30 centimeters worth of fish. So if you line them up, so you've got, 10 3-centimeter fish, done. That's a good stocking for it.
Yeah.
Obviously that wouldn't work with the different dimensions of heights and depth and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I remember someone saying that and I was like, it's a pretty good rule, but I feel like you could put more than that in there. But yeah.
Absolutely. And I like Blake's Aquatic says, I just stock off of Vibe, LOL. Yeah, kind of stock it till you think it's right.
I don't think that statement really needs a LOL.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the best way to do it, just off Vibe.
I think the biggest problem is that we have more entry level hobbyists or aquarists than we do long-term fish keepers. And so we kind of have to look at things similar to I don't know if you have it here, but a lot of our pet stores, they have like a community guidelines thing, if you will, of fish, of what can go with what, that compatibility list. I told you words were going to be hard when we started this thing. And a lot of that stuff, as people that have been in the hobby, we look at that and go, well, I've kept those together, and I've kept those together, and I've kept all of those together. But it's something that maybe if you're setting up your first tank or you're just getting into the hobby, that maybe you shouldn't have together, just because if there is an issue, you wouldn't know what to do, or you wouldn't even necessarily comprehend that there's an issue if you don't know fish like we do. So I could understand trying to implement over strict guidelines just to keep new fish keepers in it and keep those fish safe until they learn a little bit more.
Set them up for success.
Yes, absolutely. We want to get more people to stay in the hobby.
Because realistically, let's be honest, before YouTube, if you bought a fish tank and you got a couple fish and you loved it, it's very, very easy to go, I'm going to go down and get more fish. I like that one. I like those ones. I like those ones. They're like, oh, you probably shouldn't. It's my tank. I'm going to get that one.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Yes, absolutely. And then you get to Big J fish keeper status, and you're just throwing 5-gallon buckets everywhere in the yard for fish. I love it. He was showing off the backyard at his place earlier on the previous live, and it's just totes and tubs and 5-gallon buckets and anything that holds water at. He's got it set up and ready to go. And it's got
it means you don't have to mow. It's perfect.
There you go. That's a good thought. I like that.
I'm gonna have some candy.
So I
look around and I
Dude, what's that?
Happy Halloween.
Those gummy
They're
bears?
just gummies. Just gummies.
So I'm curious. We've got a couple of semi-decent fish keepers up here, and I'm up here with you too. But what is something that maybe we can? I mean, we've got 50 people in the chat, 48 people now. 5 people heard Corey was on and left. But what do you all think would be a decent guideline we could try and come up with for people coming in? Because like you mentioned, the 1 inch per gallon or the centimeter per liter, they can be easily misconstrued and misinterpreted, like the 10-inch Oscar and a 10-gallon tank. So what do you all think are some good stocking guidelines that we can create? There you go.
Just subscribe to Aqua, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I hope you've already done that anyways. Same with Dr. Black and Ed as well.
I think the biggest thing to encourage with new people is patience. To endure and try things and wait for things to happen. Don't just pack it in as soon as your first fish dies. A lot of people throw their hands in the air and just give up. But the best thing to do is keep coming back at it.
Look, that's definitely true as well. Like I sell heating and cooling, so I go into people's houses every day for work, and so many people have a fish tank, and I'm always like, "Oh, you got a fish tank? You know, what's the fish's name? How long have you had him, or whatever?" And the stories are like always like, "Oh, we had 3, and 2 of them died, and this one's just still alive, so we've still got it." So they had that initial failure and just sort of gave up on this tank, even though there's still a fish in there.
Yeah.
And generally, it's goldfish in like a 5-gallon tank and that sort of thing. And it's like, they do grow. You should put them in a bigger tank. Like, oh, no, they've been in there for 10 years. They're fine. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
And no filter. And, so I think Dr. Black's right. When you have a failure at the start, I think that's one thing everyone should know, and everyone here probably already does know. Doesn't matter how experienced you are with fish, it's the hobby is going to kick you in the butt every now and then and go, what happened there? Did I do something wrong? And sometimes you did do something wrong. Sometimes it's just something you couldn't have prevented. But yeah.
There's always something to learn. And the best place to learn is at the arse end of a mistake.
Yep. You're exactly right.
And it wouldn't be as fun if it wasn't that way. If it was just like set it up, bang, everything's perfect all the time, you'd be like, well, this is kind of boring.
Well, and I actually had 2 experiences where I was proud of people. Not that it was my place to be proud of them, but one was at the fish store earlier. A lady was walking out. She was talking to the owner, and she saw the big saltwater display she was leaving, and she said, "I really want to do saltwater." And her husband rolled his eyes and kind of smirked, and then she said, "I'm just kidding. I don't have the patience for saltwater." And I was like, at least you understand that you don't have the patience. A lot of people don't realize it. They just go on without the patience. And that's a key thing. And another awesome thing was earlier in another chat, somebody mentioned they were picking up a 6'6" tank. And which I don't know what that comes to. They're across the pond. So again, you talk about sizes not comprehending. I'm like, what's a 6.5 foot tank look like? What are the dimensions on that? But I asked what they were stocking it with, and they said a common pleco. I was like, okay, good deal. You're not throwing it in a 20-gallon. Awesome. For those aquatics, patience is the number one thing to learn for a new fish keeper. Also, research. Yes, absolutely. Take the time, do the research. Don't rush into it. And for some reason, Cortana on the laptop is searching everything I'm saying. Okay, there we go. No, I could not agree more.
The other thing as well is like Petro Man, so many people do not check nitrates. I keep mine below 10 parts per million for discus with a dirted tank and sand substrate. A lot of times I do see people get really hung up on the nitrogen cycle straight away, and then they just sit there stuck there for 2 months. And yeah, it's almost like foreign to me now again, because I've got so many tanks. I just take a filter that's already been running on another one, bang, we're pretty much set up on the day. But I do notice that, and I think that probably stops people when you go, yes, actually, I'd love to have a fish tank in the lounge room. And I'd love to have some plants and stuff. Now, what do I do? Like, well, you got to set it up and you got to get the cycle right. And like, I just thought I put water in it and put plants in it. So obviously you got to learn a little bit before, you commit to it. But I do notice people get stuck on it for a long time.
Oh, and that is definitely a thing. And I know it was for me.
Out the back.
Coming from doing saltwater into doing planted tanks, I got so into checking the parameters constantly and chasing numbers because I was so used to having to keep things right with the corals. And I think that's a big reason I had no success with plants the previous times I've tried them. It's because I almost treated it like a coral tank, like a reef tank, and I was constantly checking every little thing and trying to get it perfect. And you don't need to do that for a planted tank. You need to get it set up properly, but you don't need to, constantly fiddle with stuff.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's one thing you don't want to chase too often. you want to set yourself up for success. So use the right, the right materials for the right fish. Good example for me is that I need to have sort of crushed coral sand or Texas Holy Rock or something to keep goldfish. If I just go with just a normal substrate and stuff, they don't have a good time. Whereas you've got it already in there, you get the balances right, the KH levels, that they've been thriving and growing and doing really well. But beforehand, I didn't even treat it that way, and I would have issues all the time. And you think it's a goldfish. I've kept fish forever. Why can't I keep a goldfish?
Yeah.
And it's funny because, it's not just, I don't know, it's weird. It's me that has that issue, but I'll walk into someone's place and they'll have a 5-gallon tank, algae everywhere, the filter's not even really pumping, and the goldfish is just sitting there gasping away, but they've had them for 5 years or whatever.
And several people saying research is, goodness, research is the key. I swear I've done this before. I've been on a live stream once or twice. I mean, just about everybody's got one of these devices in their hand. Now, if it doesn't have one of these awesome stickers on it, you just need to send me an email and I'll get you one of these. But everybody's got one of these for the most part when they're going in the fish store with them. It's so easy to research things before you take them home. I could understand if we didn't have portable devices and it's like, well, I have to go look it up on the computer at home first. I could maybe understand, but even still, you should really go home, look it up, and then pick it up your next trip out. But it's so easy to do research. I hate that people don't.
See, when I was getting into fish, the computer at home, that was for playing Leisure Suit Larry, and you had to use these things called books to read about fish.
Books.
So, yeah, books. You remember those?
You're talking about like the notebook computers.
No.
No. Oh, paper.
I have something somewhere.
Oh, like when I get my receipt. Yeah. They make really long ones with information? No.
Yeah. I wrote a book for the Webster's Dictionary, so you can check that out. And
let's see. There we go. It was 44 Mag. I was talking about doing the research. Says the Fish Fam has provided so much info for me that it has made it easier for me to get into the hobby. Absolutely. Gotta love the Fish Fam. And then Darlene's Tank said, I do so much research. I overthink everything Fish Room Fever. That's also easy to do. I've read into things before and gone, oh my God, I haven't been doing that. Should I start doing that? And then I'm like, no, I've had success for X amount of years without doing this weird little thing that I just read in some book from 20 years ago. Why would I start doing that now? Or maybe I do try it and it doesn't work. And I'm like, well, I guess I didn't need that bit of knowledge.
Yeah. But that's why we're around now.
Yeah, absolutely. We are the new books. Scary as that may be.
Lol and Ginger. That's very funny.
Yes.
Anyone else having a hard time listening to the boys because you're distracted by Blackie?
Yes, I actually had to move my super chat over Blackie. On my super chat, my chat window, it's still showing the super chat off to the side on my other screen. I had to cover him with my chat window because I couldn't keep a straight face.
Well, good. I'm glad I had the desired effect.
I love it. Speaking of super chat, Priscilla MK, I hope you're doing well. I know earlier you were headed into work. Hopefully it's not too long of a day for you. Said Josh needs a costume with $5 super chat. Thank you, Priscilla. Really do appreciate it.
I took it off. My face is burning. I actually did. I used some marine lacquer for some bamboo for a tank yesterday, and I got it on my hands, and then I think I touched my face, and my face has been like red and sore ever since. And I'm like, and this sort of trapping the heat in.
I can imagine.
So now, what is bamboo lacquer in English?
Bamboo lacquer, marine lacquer. So marine
Or I
lacquer.
guess not English, in American.
American.
Like
well, you
hot
see,
dog?
it's basically marine paint. So it's basically to seal the bamboo, because bamboo in
Oh, so it's
If
actually
water will
like
break
lacquer
down
that
the
you
top.
put on bamboo.
Well, it's not made for that. It's just going to help me with my thing because I put bamboo in a fish tank and I didn't put any water in it, and everyone came straight away and they're like, that will break down within 3 months and cause lots of problems. And I was like, that's a good point. So I've used a marine lacquer to seal it and then put it in, so make it waterproof. Now, a really well respected aquascaper, and he runs a shop in Mitcham here, said this is the way to do it if you want to put the bamboo in. It does smell a fair bit like toxic sort of smell, but I've had them sitting outside. They'll be sitting outside for the next couple of weeks before I even put them in water or in a tank. But I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that this will work. I think what I'll do is I'll probably wash them off a bit for a little bit and let them try and get everything else. No excuse. I'm sorry. I'll wear my Chippendale hat until the end of the video.
So Petroman 1185 said, keep a notebook on everything you do in the tank, water changes, filter cleaning, etc. I have been doing something similar to that. I don't have a notebook. I've thought about hanging up a clipboard, almost like you see the restroom cleaning checklist, if you will, in some places. But one thing I was doing was I was actually using the Halloween little makeup sticks that you get that are oil-based, and I would write my water change date on the tank as I did it. So that way I could just look at the date on there, and it comes, it wipes off, and I could look and go, okay, that one was done then. Now I've gotten to the point to where I kind of do them a room at a time. So like I did all the tanks in here before the Thursday stream. I'll do all of the hallway tanks on the same day, and then I'll do all of the gallery tanks, the living room, fish room tanks on the same day. So I at least know all of those tanks were attended to on the same day of the week. And so where was that question?
Pretty
Lefty,
sure I'm Dale Lefty. Just
well, I was going to say, Lefty asking, are you Chip or Dale Aquamate?
I think
if you stay long enough, Aquamate's going to actually be Chip and Dale's. So no, I'm just kidding.
Wait, no, Dale. Yeah.
I think Chip has a red nose.
Only when he's drunk.
And then Ed is,
Yeah, I'll have a beer and watch it go red.
I'm a banana slug.
and Blackie is on his way to church, he said. That's his Sunday church dress. And I am green hair algae. Unfortunately, the rest of mine didn't work out as planned, but still threw up some bones and stuff for y'all in the background.
Is Blackie wearing a wig?
It is all of my own hair.
El Natural.
Bird Garden, how are you? I need to get you on the mod list now that you've got a second channel. For those of you that don't know, Bird Garden is Rack, who formerly was the River Life, who is now Pond Life. So be sure to check him out. Bird Garden having to start over on a brand new channel, no subscribers, no watch time, all that stuff. Could definitely use some help. So I'll be sure to check him out. He's got a really cool 24/7 bird stream that he has going over there. Pretty cool stuff.
Now, is it still the same old cool Rack, or does he have a bad attitude on that?
It's still he's got a bird attitude.
Oh.
Dad jokes. Hey, what kind of jokes do you tell during quarantine? Inside jokes.
Oh.
We got the
that
was for Doug Gray right there. I actually left that in a comment on one of Doug Gray's videos the other day because he's always doing the jokes on his, and he was like, hey, I like that. I was like, I'm sorry. So that was for him. I know he watches from time to time, so I hope you enjoy that. Ray Aquatic, what's going on, buddy? Sorry.
If you want Doug Gray here, you have to say Guppy 3 times.
Yeah, Guppy. Well, it's kind of like if you say Aquarium Co-op 3 times, Corey will pop up and say hi. No, I'm just kidding.
You just keep making our audience leave.
I know. Hey, I wasn't the one that just said he was on. I just said if you say his name 3 times, he pops up.
All I've got to do is watch a video and then not not skip the end, and then aquarium co-op pops up every time.
Yep.
Up to every video.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I want to say a huge thank you. We've still got right at 50 people here, 60 thumbs ups versus 1,238. I think we're holding our own quite well. If you do the percentages math on that and compare subscriber numbers, I think we're at a higher percentage rate than Corey is, right? So we win.
But do you have to divide ours by 4?
What's that?
You have to divide it by 4 because there's 4 of us.
I mean, we can. He's got somebody else on his, so we're dividing his by 2, and we're still going to win. Before I get too far down the rabbit hole of insanity, before I get too far down the Pleco Cave, that's going to be my new thing. I'm going to substitute rabbit hole for Pleco Cave. Bird Garden, Rack, I appreciate you with $20 super chat. Brother, that is awesome of you. Thank you very much, Rack. Really, really do appreciate you. And I'm digging the new channel, and I like the rebranding. I understand now that you're, real big into the ponds and you're not living on the river. Pond life just makes sense. But either way, I'm glad to have you back, and back with 2 channels nonetheless. So very, very cool of you. And thank you, Zen, for dropping links for Bird Garden. And I will try and grab one for Pond Life as well. And of course, we get Blackie's and Aquamate's links in here along with Chattanooga Ed's. All of the 3 of theirs can be found in the description. Yes, I am green hair algae, which I feel kind of bad. This looks like faded out green on the camera. This is like bright lime green, like reflective green. I keep like getting green hues coming off of it earlier when I was going out in the sunlight. Just thank you for the links. But yeah, it's been a fun day. It's a little exhausting, but it's been fun. And I'm glad to have you Aussies on here. I did find my Vegemite the other day when I was moving some stuff around. So
And
I should have grabbed that for the stream. I'm going to have to try it on toast. I still haven't tried it on toast. I scared myself too badly with that massive quantity off of the aquascaping shovel.
That was very brave.
I locked
Very
that stuff in a safe far, far away where I would never find it again, and yet I still found it.
Good. It's destiny. This is the way.
I don't know. Maybe that'll be a new line of videos for the members. Every week I'll try Vegemite on something else.
French fries.
It broke.
Vegemite burger.
Yeah. No, it did make me think of you guys when I found it.
What do we do, Blackie? I'm trying to think. Mixed Vegemite put it in soup, vegetable soup.
Gravy, casseroles, goes in everything.
Oh my goodness.
Jello?
It's so versatile.
Yeah.
My grandma, every year when I was a child, would ruin the Jello at Christmas time because I love Jello. One time she cut up black olives and put it in there, and it looked just like cat food. And it was like, oh, just give me Jello, and I'm a happy guy.
That is a great question, Select. Select Pet asks, do fish like Vegemite?
One way to find out.
Bum, bum, bum.
Put a little bit on the
Maybe
end of your finger, James, and put it in your piranha tank.
There you go, Select. But you've given me an idea for a second video this week.
Right?
Wait, no, put it on your hand and stick your hand in the.
That's what I was just wondering if it would work like a kind of, I almost said liquid. Dear God, that stuff is nowhere near liquid. Like a very thick, pasty, crusty suit of armor. If I put it on and stuck my hand in the piranha tank, it might.
I was going to say piranha.
Yeah. I've tried to avoid that tank lately.
Blake, they instantly become marine fish after they eat it.
Yeah. There you go. Let me grab this real quick. Furloughs Aquatics, another awesome channel with $5 super chat. Said I was trying to get off work early to be able to pop on the earlier stream with you, but failed miserably. LOL. Hope y'all have a great night. Eric, Furloughs Aquatics, I appreciate you. I'm glad to see the channel's going well over there. Hopefully we can get some more people out of here to pop on over to your channel. For those of you that don't know, he just started up a couple weeks ago. He's got some really awesome videos already, though. And I encourage you to go check him out. I'm having a blast watching what he's got going on over there. Zen says, I would totally try Vegemite if it were part of a stock. I bet that's actually good. I still don't think it's. That's just my opinion, though. No Aussies were harmed in the forming of my opinion. But
Not externally, no.
yeah, they're weeping on the inside. The sheer disdain for Vegemite. I don't know. I need to try it properly. I really do. It might be really good stuff when used appropriately. Kind of one of those all things in moderation.
Yeah.
That's
you got to work. You really need
Fellow
to
has
put the
some
time
very
in.
nice Severums.
Yeah.
Nice one.
I really liked the canister cleaning video. So many people avoid maintaining their canisters. I like that he came out like, look, guys, it's not that freaking hard. Check this out. And it was on a massive, it was FX6, this big beast 5-gallon bucket canister filter. And I'm like, okay, I would have been afraid to deal with that sucker. You know, I would feel a lot more confident now if I needed to change one of those or clean one of those. Okay, Select Pet says, so only Australia native fish like Vegemite.
We'll see. We'll find out.
Stay tuned for that video on the Aquamate channel.
I'll have to do it now, won't I?
Yeah.
How many snails can you keep in a fish tank?
What kind of snails?
Pest snails.
Probably a lot. I asked
Literally
because, of course,
thmysteries.
yeah,
I
you know,
reckon we've got
mystery.
100 over here.
Yeah, they should be fine. I was, mystery snails, get a good size bigger, so not quite as many of those. But I mean, I just looked again at my very first video that I ever put out, and I had maybe 400 or 500 mystery snails throughout that video, and I was like, God, I forgot how many snails I was impacted with back then. But yeah, the little pond snails or bladder snails, I like that answer. Select Pet has it. I'm not going to read it off to you. It's a lot of 9s. Brazilians.
A few thousand in a 5-gallon. I don't know, Lefty. I don't know exactly what species of snail they are, to be honest. I reckon I've got about 10 different types of snails throughout the fish room.
See, so this guy preaches about reading books, preaches about having these fancy tanks with these fancy lights and these fancy filters, and he can't even tell us what a snail is.
I don't know what this one is.
No, I'm just picking on you.
It's called a business snail because it's business time.
Blackie, I'm absolutely loving what you've got going on over there. It's looking very good.
Did you like my sound effects? Did you hear those sound effects just now?
I didn't hear the sound effects.
Really cool.
Evil beasts. It's Halloween. There's beasts around.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. I like that.
I thought Bob had jumped up in the chat somewhere.
No.
Ray Aquatics, how are you? So, Blackie, how are things going with Sarah's art? Scunge Princess.
Yeah, pretty good. She's just got back on the wagon, basically. Just started posting stuff on Instagram again. She's had a bit of a dry spell with producing work. So now she's back in the swing of things. She's even working on one right now.
Oh, very nice.
That's very zoomed in though, so it's all just pixels. But yeah, it's good to see. Very happy to see her back in the caper, putting stuff up. And it's good, isn't it, love? They're asking about your work.
I know she's got a lot of fans in here, including myself. What's the best place to go find some Scungy art?
To look at is the Instagram, but then there's a big cartel site as well with a few listings you can buy stuff on.
If you just go to Instagram, it has a link to the big cartel.
There we go. See, Sarah making it simple. I like that. I will have to go check that out. And we've only got about 16, 17 more minutes if y'all want to throw your questions in there before we wrap this thing up and we go make Corey mad with a raid. Or Candy mad, I should say. Mrs. Fever, where was it? She asked a question. She wanted to know if Blackie is Caesar.
Wasn't Caligula the one that had the flowers and stuff all the time?
May have been.
I think Caesar was a bit too straight to dress like this, wasn't he?
There you go.
I'm just some chick that
This
Halloween
is
grabbed out of the swamp.
Blackie's just in his Sunday best, trying to pass it off as a costume.
Yeah.
She missed that earlier in the stream. That was a question not for me. I don't think I missed anything else. Thank you again, mods, for posting the links.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Derek, for popping that up there, mate.
What did he just pop?
I just see her as Instagram and Big Cartel links.
Yeah.
Crying out loud, that's what I was trying to do.
So now I've got a hashtag lined up. It's like Pet was saying, hashtag high candy. But I think we should do hashtag we love Dean, since Dean is the guest on there. I was trying not to say that till closer to the end because I didn't want the entire audience to leave. But you guys are awesome and loyal, and I appreciate it. We still got 43 people on here, even with those shenanigans.
At 10 o'clock Central, which is 11 o'clock Central. No, I don't know what time it is. I don't know. What's 10 o'clock our time Central? 9 o'clock Central. Pam will be having a Halloween show.
Now, when are you doing, when daylight savings hit for you guys?
Tomorrow, I think.
Oh,
somebody
tomorrow.
said it was the 2 a.m. on the 1st of November, which would be, just hours from now. Yeah, so it doesn't time change tonight. Yeah.
Now, do we get an hour or do we lose?
Spring forward fallback, so we would gain an hour technically because it'll be 2 o'clock and then it'll be 1 o'clock.
Oh, this is the best night ever. Halloween plus an hour.
Does it?
Ours does here. We're in
because you
fall,
guys
so
have gone an hour ahead when we went back. So, gee, all right. So you're going to be.
Yeah, because
I'm confused. Trying to do Sunday streams is like I've just sort of given up, and now I'm like, well, maybe that slot will open up properly again. But now I think you would be after us.
I think that's how you and I figured it when we tried to figure it out before. Because we do spring forward and fall back. So at 2 a.m. you should set it back an hour, so it would then be 1 a.m. So you're gaining an hour.
I'm going to message you at 11 o'clock tomorrow, and you can tell me what time it is.
Now, I did find that really awesome Australia to whatever time calculator, kind of like a gallons to liters figure outer app thingy. You can plug in the times and it'll tell you. So I was like, it's this time here. What time is it in Australia? And I'm like, okay, cool.
What's the weather like in Australia right now?
Sunny here. Very warm. Not much
Sunny
wind.
here as well. It's actually starting to get nice and warm and sunny and normal, which is good.
We've been
What's it like over there?
It was a beautiful day here. It was really nice. We were able to have the doors propped open at the fish store earlier during the event. It was just sunny and cool and just awesome.
What have I got here? 13 degrees. That's not very warm.
Oh, that's terrible cold.
No, so it's going to be 21 and sunny all day. UV index high. 22 degrees and it feels like 9. No, 22 no, feels like 16. 0% precipitation. What else do you want?
Oh,
Wait,
Okay,
16 would be about 68 degrees us.
Yeah, so we're pushing 30 degrees tomorrow and Tuesday. So we're starting to get pretty warm.
Yeah, it's 28 here already.
It's a lot warmer where Blackie lives. But it's warmer and humid where Blackie lives, and then it'll get warmer and dry where I live. Although it is the year for La Nina, is it? Not El Nino, but
El Nino?
No, the other one.
La
Blackie,
Nina.
La Nina?
which means
We're
it
gonna
should
have a
be
warm
a
winter.
wetter summer. Whoa.
So I was actually going to pick on them earlier. Blackie had messaged me how long before the stream, and I messaged him 22 minutes, and I was going to say American minutes, not Australian minutes. Somebody asked about minutes and seconds adding up differently down there, and that's what brought that back to mind. I can't find it again. But yeah, it was Select Pet. Said, wait, hours and minutes, or minutes? Yeah, hours, minutes, and seconds add differently down under? Question mark. They do. So I always have to tell them, hey, that's 22 American minutes.
The one thing that I don't get with you crazy Americans, why do you put the month first, then the day, then the year? It's just weird.
Well, how would you say what's your birthday?
19th of July, 85. So 19th of the 7th, 85.
See, I would say June 15th, 73. Yeah. You say, because it's,
hey, Griff.
I guess we just always say our month first.
We do.
It sounds right when you say it that way, but when you write it down and you go, it's 10, 11, 1, 20, you go, what? More so when it's 11, 20, 20 or something, and you go, what month is that?
We got a world in crisis, and Aquamate's sitting here bitching about how people write the date.
Yeah, because how are we meant to write down when the world ended?
Yeah.
We'll be arguing.
We used to send cars to Canada, and so we did everything the reverse way. Everything they would send us, they would reverse it for us. And it made it really confusing.
Has he already accounted for this or not?
That's
when it was like 5-6. Wait, is it 6-5 or 5-6?
See, especially when it's like the day is like the 13th of the month or whatever. So you must read it as like, is that January? What month is that?
January.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, and just like Select Pet said, trying to figure out paperwork with people of U.S. and international putting down dates, like Ed was talking about. That's got to be horrible. I don't wish that on anybody. I don't know why we do it like that, though. And I have noticed several forms I've gone to fill out on the internet lately. When I've gone to fill them out, they've been put like you Aussies do it, with the day first, and it's thrown me off because I've gone to put in, 7-2, and I have to go flip it and go, it's 2-7 on here. So, but when I see 2-7, I think February 7th and not July 2nd. But so
this is confusing. My mom's best friend lives on the other side of the mountain, north of us, but she's in Central Time Zone because her county is mostly in the Central. Isn't that weird? So she goes like to the East Coast or East time when she drives south, and they're just like 5 minutes apart.
What's the difference? Is it a full hour or just a half an hour?
It's a full hour, but she never knows what time church events are going to happen because they go to the same church. So,
right.
So
and she's probably just always late, and she uses that as an excuse.
Yes.
You want to talk about fun? I used to live in a log cabin way up in the middle of the mountains, and it was on several intersecting lines. It was right there on the time zone line for Eastern and Central, and it was also on the state line. So you could kind of walk around in the road and bounce between Eastern and Central and between Tennessee and Kentucky, just depending upon where you were standing right there by the house. And that was always fun. If we went up into Kentucky, they were on Central Time. If we went down into Tennessee, the closest town was on Eastern Time. So you can imagine how many times you screw things up at first when you head off and you go,
yeah,
wait, what do we have the clocks at the house set to? So yeah, always fun.
So do all the local businesses there put both times? It'd be like 4 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Well, where we actually lived at, there was nothing. It was 23 miles to the nearest town and like 23 miles nearest town in Kentucky and like 24 miles to the nearest town in Tennessee. There was nothing. It's like all surrounded by state park land. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was really, really weird. It was fun. You have your phone and you could walk back and forth, and you know how your phone auto changes time zones? Get your phone changing. You're like, wait, where? What? Where? But
I also have to apologize for the Fish Fam Fantasy Football. I can't log in.
ooh.
Oh no!
I just keep I'm trying to do tipping with mates as well through the same thing. I log in and then it doesn't have I get in, but it doesn't have the options to do things, and I'm like, man, this is getting really tricky. And it's also very weird because for us, there's a game Friday morning and then the other game's a Monday morning. So if I don't think about it on Thursday, it's too late. So it's a weird one. So I don't even know how I'm traveling with that. But if you were like, Aquamate's not really doing anything.
Oh well, if you ever, I'll go and make sure that your players are in their lineup for you, if you'd like.
I think well, I only know a few of them, to be honest.
There are a couple of his players that I think Shy would like if you could just slide them my way, Ed.
Let's go look at this.
We got
We're
about
gonna
7
see.
minutes left, so I want to say a real quick thank you to all of the people that have thrown down the super chats. And I haven't seen this person. They may have become a member just off of one of the videos, but I'm going to say another thank you. Of course, now it's just going to say channel failed to load for everybody. So we'll give that a minute. Channel failed to load. See all.
Well, Josh, you're tied with 4 other guys in last place.
The
Well,
other
that's
four
not too
can't
bad.
log in.
Well, one's James and Big J and Scott from Alien World. And Scott is like a huge nerd, so he's just having really bad luck.
Maybe I should log in.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not going to help you out this week because you're beating me 22-17 right now.
Ooh.
Just from Friday night's game. Thursday
Oh,
night's game?
jeepers. Yep. You got
Yep.
22 from your quarterback.
Maybe I should have got onto that, because if you guys that actually know stuff about the football are bottom of the table, maybe if I go in not knowing anything, I'd probably be winning.
I
Yeah.
tried that approach, and then Mrs. Fever took over and is like all into it. And so I didn't get to actually test that approach out. So real
There you
quick,
go. Priscilla's backing us up. In Europe, they do it day first.
everywhere but here. And like several people said, because America. America.
America.
Mary Page Flynn, Danikin Aquatics, Aquatic Marine, Priscilla MK, Bird Garden, and Furloughs Aquatics. Thank you all very, very much for the super chats. Really do appreciate you guys. Never expected, but always very much appreciated. Be sure you go check those people out. Awesome people throwing those down there. Of course, check these two guys out also. I want to give you guys a chance to plug anything you want to plug, any upcoming videos, or of course we love Blackie's live streams, but crazy shenanigans people should watch for.
Yeah, watch my live streams and hug a cross-dresser today.
I like it.
I suppose I'll be trying to feed a fish Vegemite later today.
Okay, very nice.
We better be quick, because I reckon there's, now that we've said it out loud, there's going to be dozens of people trying to get the first one onto the tube.
I'm posting it right now. I've already had Mrs. Fever feed it. She recorded. No, I'm just kidding. She's not even here. She's out with the kids trick-or-treating.
Well, I think she's on the way home, because there was a message in the chat before saying she just finished at the last house. Wasn't there?
I thought she had just gotten to the last one. Maybe she had just finished up at the last one. But possibly.
I reckon if I do it, someone will totally hate on it and be like, you can't do that. It's going to cause this issue and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay.
Just start your video. Start your video with an opening statement like, if you're going to be that person to rouse on me for doing this, don't be that guy.
You know, what you could do is like just accidentally do it on purpose. Like eat some crackers over the tank and oh, I just got stuff all over me.
That'd
Yeah.
be great.
Just, I golded up my thumb.
Lefty32138 with the $2 super chat says, America #1.
All right.
Thank you, Lefty. Appreciate that.
You guys have got a bit going on this week, don't you?
Yeah, there's some stuff. I try not to get into that stuff on the
I'm
socials.
watching from afar.
There's definitely
It's not
some
going to
stuff.
happen this week. It's going to happen maybe this year.
Yeah, we might find out what actually happened in January.
God.
One thing's for sure, sometime after the election, you will know.
Someday. Maybe.
Absolutely. Ed, do you have anything upcoming that the people should be on the look for?
No.
I didn't say anything, Lefty. I just said it was an interesting week. That was all.
Yeah, no, you were good. Yeah, definitely an interesting week.
I'll be on Pam's stream tonight for the Halloween show.
Yes, and that is at 10 p.m. our time, Eastern. Ed says, I don't know.
How many hours, Pam, until the stream?
Oh, Pam's still here.
Yeah.
We haven't run her off just yet. She's a tough
Is she
old bird.
live in an hour or 2 hours?
If this
It is
wasn't
midday
yellow,
down
it
under.
would be scary.
One hour. There you go.
All right.
You
So
know-
y'all be sure to check out Punchy Paints in an hour. Be sure to check out these awesome guys, Dr. Black66, the lovely Dr. Black66, Aquamate, awesome Aquamate. Of course, Chattanooga Ed, the Banana Slug. I appreciate you all being here. We still have 45 people. If you're brave enough, I want you to copy paste this. Let me get it to go in here. Copy paste this over there in the Aquarium Co-op chat. Hashtag We Love Deem. Thank you, members, moderators, lurkers, listeners, contributors. I love you all. Thank you guys for coming on and being guests. Always a pleasure to see the Aussies on here.
Thanks for having us up, eh?
Let's go Red Aquarium Co-op. Any final outros?
That'll do.
Okay.
Thank you for having us, dude. It's been awesome fun.
I'm glad to have you, my friend. All right. Going over there now. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again.